struggled getting my foot into the pedal to start. I tried something new, which I'd been practicing, which was starting in a higher gear, thinking that I could generate some power, but I struggled getting my foot in, and it really set me back, and I had really bad positioning starting. Even with the bad start, I did have decent positioning within the group. I was on the first, with the first group, but I was just in the back. I mean, I was frustrated though, being in the back because the pace wasn't very fast, and being in the back makes it even worse. And I just knew that there was just a matter of time before the group that started after us would catch me. And once that group catches, that's when your race is kind of a wash, because you're constantly getting caught and passed. So after the rider started moving forward from behind, that's when I decided that it might be a good time for me to start moving forward. And I knew that I had to start climbing in the pack, and that was at the 10-minute mark. After I did start picking up the pace, it wasn't what felt like 2 minutes, and I cracked. My body did not take the heat well during this race.
Push. They all just got jammed up.
course was set up is you did a half a lap, then you did 2 full laps after that half a lap. And I was hanging by a thread on the first half lap. The trails were wet and they were very peanut buttery, and it just made this race really unpleasant, especially with the heat. Into the first full lap, I kind of just made the decision that I was just going to sit and I was just going to finish. I just wanted to finish. I had made up my mind. I knew that I wasn't feeling great, foggy. I almost at some point I don't even remember racing. I just plowing through and wanting to finish. And I had absolutely zero strength. I was just soft pedaling and kind of just talking to myself and getting through it. Pretty close into the first full lap, I crashed on some roots in a corner and I got wrapped around a sapling and I broke my GoPro mount on the front of my bike. So it took me a couple minutes to really get situated. I had to coordinate, I had external battery on my GoPro that had wires wrapped around my brake housing. I had to undo all of that, I had to put it in my, my back pocket. I got tangled up in some trees. It really took me a while to get moving, and at that point I knew it was over. From this point on, there was no front video. It was all back video. You can even see the GoPro at times in my back pocket, and the wire to the external battery dangling down half the race. I was so slow in this race. I didn't really want to push it. I was just putzing around. I was open for business. Everybody was free to pass.
Come out of the woods over there, you're kind of close to the end of the
Throughout the whole race, I was just working on my getting past technique. There's nothing I could have gained or learned from this race. And again, there was free passes all around. One of the toughest things about this race was there were no long descents. They were all very short and very steep. So there's nowhere to gain time without you having to put forth an effort, or even not even gain time. There's nowhere to even make the same time as the people in front of you or behind you. You're constantly having to put forth an effort. As the race went on, I kind of figured out that the course wasn't as slippery as everybody was anticipating. It was just kind of unpleasant. The routes were icy, but I didn't put forth an effort at all, really. And I couldn't, and that could be why I just didn't notice that they were that slippery. I mean, I did crash early on. I expected to be all over the place, and that was not the case. I'd like to say I fought until the end, but I merely survived until the end. That's all it was. There was no fight. I just did not want to DNF. I learned about the activities leading up to the race. I know about, but I didn't necessarily put forth the effort that was required. I don't think I hydrated good enough. I didn't sleep very well the week leading up. I had like very little power leading up to the race, but my numbers were good, so I didn't really find it to be that concerning. When I was warming up for the race, I did kind of get a little nervous. I was having a lot of fatigue leading up to the Sizzler, so I kind of learned a little bit about leading up, about my body and and the signals that it's sending me. I ended up getting 12th out of 15th in this race, which is probably one of my worst efforts in terms of percentage in the field. I am going to take a couple weeks off. I'm going to go to Snowshoe and watch the World Cup. I'm going to be there for a week. I hope to see you all at the next Mass Series race. I'm pretty sure I'm going to do Bear Creek. If not, Big Elk will be the next one that I do. But I hope I see you there. And hit the like button, comment. Tell me if you noticed anything that I did wrong, where I was riding wrong, where I was riding just bad. Let me know how you thought you did on the course. I'd like to hear it, and what you thought of the course. Please just drop a comment below. Until next time, see ya.